It's the Mike Francesa podcast on the Bet Rivers Network.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast. After a giant, ugly, hard-fought, ugly, whatever you want to call it, they hung on for dear life, and they get their second win of the season in a game they had to have. If you expected anything out of the rest of the season, if you had any hopes at all for the Giants, this game had to be a win. There was no way around it. And the Giants, what they did was hold on for dear life and win it 14-7. Ended in a bizarre fashion. The Giants either were going to have to punt because Dable called the timeout and left the Redskins with two. They were either going to have to punt or take a safety. I was thinking they'd probably take the safety, but we never got that far because a Redskin player, not knowing the rule, obviously, because he could have gotten off the field, had to realize, I guess he doesn't know what was going to happen there. He's not helping his team there. He's hurting his team there. As soon as he allowed someone to come on the field to give him help, then the game was over. And that's how the game ended. But be that as it may, nothing was going to happen probably in the final seconds. The Giants held on after the Barkley fumble. The game turned. It was 14-0 Giants at the half, as we know. The game turned on the muffed punt early in the third quarter. The Giants, who were scoreless in the second half, have got to get someone who can capably catch punts. Listen, punt returner has a two-facet job. The first part is imperative if he wants to be a punt returner, and that is catch the football. The second part is optional, and it's a positive if you can do it, which means get positive yardage. But the most important thing is to secure the football, catch the football. Don't let it bounce so that it gets 20 yards down the field. Don't let them gain extra yardage by it bouncing past you. Don't catch the ball in the wrong part of the field. Understand what your job is and secure the football. The Giants turned that into a disaster today, turned it into a circus, and it could have cost them a ball game. The Barkley fumble after the big play to Hyatt. Hyatt made two big plays today. I thought Taylor played well in the first half. I thought he was shaky in the second half, made a couple of throws. Listen, he threw for 279 yards. He didn't throw any interceptions. Okay? He didn't turn the ball over. He got sacked. Okay, Giant quarterbacks are always going to get sacked. And a huge play in that game was the hold on the sack by Young, which would have been his third of the game, and would have pinned the Giants deep for the punt. That was a huge play in the game. There were a lot of plays where the Redskins messed up. Redskins gift-wrapped this game in a lot of ways, but the Giants did make some plays offensively. Barkley made some plays. Taylor made some plays. Hyatt made some plays. Waller made some plays, the third down touchdown reception that was their icebreaker in the second quarter of the game. Gave them finally a first half touchdown. That was big. They got some good performances. The offensive line, spotty at best, and you worry about that in the matchup next week against the Jets. But Waller, 7 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown. Good game. Hyatt, 2 big catches, 2 for 75 yards. They have to get him more into the offense, and Taylor does a good job of getting rid of the ball quickly and getting it deep. Not taking a lot of time and not taking a deep drop to get the ball deep. And he gets air under the ball and gets it deep to the speed receivers. 2 for 75. Barkley at 77, had the big fumble, had 40 on the ground, including the touchdown. Had a solid game. Wasn't great. The fumble was key, but again, they withstood it. Taylor, like I said, had a really good first half. I would leave Taylor at quarterback. Let Daniel Jones get healthy. The offensive line is not ready for his return. Taylor operates more confidently and more quickly and more succinctly behind this offensive line. Let him play against the Jets, because next week, the key is going to be all week how the Giants can possibly protect their quarterback against that onslaught they're going to get from the Jets, because we know how good the Jets are at putting pressure on quarterbacks. this offensive line is a sieve. Both these offensive lines are a sieve. Although Hal holds the ball a little too long, still their offensive line stinks. The Giant offensive line stinks. Neither one can protect the quarterback. And that's the part that scares you going into next week's game, which will be a very, very big game for the Giants. Less so for the Jets. But again, any game, the Jets need to win. Okay, the Jets need to keep winning. The Giants, though, this can be a season maker for them if they can get the win next week. They're 2-5. If they ever get that win next week, not only does it get them back breathing, but it also gives them some bragging rights, something to hold on to, even in this awful season if the season turns as sour as it has been so far. But they get their second win today. One pretty. Looked like they were going to blow the thing in the second half on numerous occasions. They didn't. They get the win. They didn't beat a good team today. Washington's came in 3-3, but again, they are a very erratic team. They're not a really good team. The Giants beat them, though. They had to get a win today. They did. That was the positive stuff. You saw some things you can build on. What I would do at the quarterback position right now, and listen, I would not make a big deal this week about is he, isn't he? I would, if I'm Dable, I don't turn this week into is Daniel Jones going to play? Is he not going to play? We'll see. We'll see what he does in practice. We'll see how much he practices. We'll see how he feels on Saturday. No. Leave Taylor alone. He should have beaten the Bills. He didn't. He could have, though, very easily. He moved the ball against the Bills. Today, they moved the ball again. All right. They didn't score a lot of points. This Giant team's not going to score a lot of points. Not with this offensive line. It's going to struggle in the red zone. And Gano missed a chip shot field goal, which he always make. But it was windy out there today, so he maybe didn't play the win right, you know. For him, I think anything under 50 is a chip shot, okay, because he's a great kicker. He missed one that he should make, but, hey, you know, he's allowed to make a mistake. They got some life out of Williams. They also had a big block on the field goal. They got some life out of Lawrence, who has not played anywhere near where he played last year. So they needed that from him. They got some other decent performances. I mean, Thibodeau has to catch that ball. I don't know how he ever dropped that ball. That was a walk-in touchdown. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, you just can't drop that ball, but he did. It could have broken that game wide open. It didn't happen. He should have caught it. They got pressure. You expect him to get pressure. They blocked the field goal. They were better. They did a good job overall. They did a good job against the run. They did a good job putting pressure. They got 6 sacks. They were more aggressive today again. They made a couple plays in the secondary. I didn't like how they, as a team, really went to sleep in the third quarter. But they're not a really good team right now. And they have a terrible offensive line. So those things are going to happen. But they got the W. That's the important thing. I would commit to Taylor right now until further notice. Let Jones get completely healthy. Let the offensive line get stronger. Let guys come back. Don't get Jones back here and hurt again. Taylor is operating the offense right now better than Jones. That's visibly obvious. Leave him alone. Let him play quarterback right now. Let him play against the Jets this week. Don't make it just don't say anything. Just say, hey, right now Taylor's the quarterback. Case closed. Don't turn this into a big issue. And don't make it a big game time thing where the media is going to be all over it in Jet Giant week, all over it, day in, day out, minute in, minute out. Don't turn this week into that. Commit to Taylor early. And it'll be interesting. If I didn't wait for the post-game press conference, I doubt he would make any commitments in there then. But if I'm him, I commit to Taylor early in the week, if not sooner. So let's see how he plays that. That'll remain to be seen. But the Giants get a win. That's what they needed today. Was it pretty? No. Did they score in the second half? No. Are 14 points enough? No. Does their offensive line have to get better? Yes. Do they have to clean some stuff up on special teams? Yes. Do they have to play better to beat a good team? Yes. But this will be a very emotional week, a big opportunity for the Giants, and we'll play. At least they go in there with their second win, headed in the right direction, thinking positively about things. Some guys with a smile on their face. Now, remember, download the Bet Rivers app for everything you need, for faster experience, for exclusive promotion, for one app while traveling. And remember, you get extra value this football season with the Bet Rivers Squares. You can win up to $10,000 in bonus money by just betting $10 in same-game parlays on any game with the square icon in the corner, and it's there for a lot of college games. It's there for all the NFL games. So just go to betrivers.com, download the Bet Rivers app, the ever-improving Bet Rivers app, and you'll have everything you need there. And you get a chance to maybe pick up $10,000 to add to your football excitement. Now, elsewhere, I remember you only had 6 ones today because you had a lot of teams off, okay? Now, with that being the case, might only been 5 ones. No, 6 ones. 6 ones. Colts. Yeah, 6 ones. Now, Pats get a win. Blew the lead in the fourth quarter. Had a 12-point lead. Bills come back, take the lead. Bills let them come right down the field. Big play to Stevenson. They win the game. Big win for the Pats. I understand the Pats are going nowhere, but that was a big win against the Bills at home. They needed that. They needed that in the worst way. Get a big win today. Falcons, Bucks tie it up late. Falcons come back, hit a big play to their tight end, and wind up winning it. Falcons are 4-3. Good win for them. Quarterback has to be better. And there's no question they're shopping for a veteran, but the bottom line is Falcons are not a bad team. I told you I thought they'd be a team that would surprise this year, and they have so far. They've done a good job. Lions got killed today. I thought the Ravens would beat them. I thought it was a rough week for the Lions. They were banged up in a lot of spots. They were banged up at running back. And you know what? They were 5-1 in a division where they have a big lead. They could have a bad week. They had an off week. They got out of the game early. They got jumped early by the Ravens. The game was never a game. They lose at 38-6. You move on. That's all there is to it. Raiders losing to the Bears in the battle of backup quarterbacks says a lot about the Raiders. You know, they're getting nothing out of Jacobs. They're getting very little out of Devontae Adams. They did say this week, no matter what Devontae Adams says and no matter what teams call us, we are not trading him. You know what, though? He can't be happy. And Jacobs is doing nothing. Nothing. And Hoyer was bad today. And that team has more talent than that. They should not lose that game to the Bears, even with Hoyer playing in the battle of backup quarterbacks. So bad loss for the Raiders today. Really, really bad loss for the Raiders today. And Cleveland and the Colts are still going on right now. It's going down to the wire. Browns have a chance to win it in the final seconds. They trailed by 5 points as they're on the doorstep with 30 seconds left in the game, so they might get a chance to win it there. Again, Taylor today started to play like Taylor. Minshew moves the team. He makes a lot of big plays. He throws a lot of big pass plays. I mean, he had a 75-yard touchdown pass today. He had a 60-yard touchdown pass today. He had 2 touchdowns that he ran in from 4 and 17, but he turns the ball over all the time. He has got to get the turnovers down. That's the key, because he's the quarterback the rest of the way for the Colts. And the Colts are not that bad. But Minshew cannot turn the ball over 4 times, 3 and 4 times every single week. I mean, he moves the ball all over the place and makes big plays. And now with Taylor, they have some weapons. I mean, Taylor was back looking like Taylor today. He had about 50 catching. He had about 80 or so and a touchdown rushing. He might even have more late. The bottom line is they got some weapons, but Minshew has got to stop turning the ball over. So Giants get a win. Jets have the bye. Big game next week as the Jets and Giants will tangle. Always fun when they do. And again, 2 things to watch. One, what can the Giants do to do anything to aid that offensive line against the Jets? And two, how does he handle the quarterback situation this week as he gets ready for the Jets? For once, the Jet quarterback situation won't be the story this week. The Giant quarterback situation will be the story this week. We got a lot to do this week. We'll have World Series for you. We'll have plenty of football for you. We'll have a really busy week, so look for us. We'll be there almost daily. Have a good day.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Francesa podcast on the Bet Rivers Network.